Hey, how's it going? I just want to give a quick recap and overview of week 2 of our Baewatch series. And in this week, we talked about the friend zone. Now, I know Mel and I met in 1999 before many of our students were even around or thought of. And we were friends for a long time. And there were different periods in that time that we knew each other that we were friends that were interested in one another or that we were not. And so there were times that both of us felt like we had been friend zoned by the other person because we had feelings that were different at that point in our relationship. But here's the thing: there are different levels of friendships. I have a lot of people that I'm friends with on Facebook. They're my Facebook friends. Really, a long time ago, they would have called those just acquaintances, people that I've met, that I know, that I occasionally keep in touch with. Then you have casual friends. These friends might be people that you sit next to in math class. They might be the people that usually sit at the table next to you at lunch. You know their name, you know a little bit about them, but that's about it. They're just casual friends. Then you have your friends that are your good friends, your best friends, your close friends. And those people are invited into your life. They are invited to be a part of who you are. They're invited to have input into you. And those are really the friendships that end up usually mattering. They're your close friends. And you think about, we talked a little bit about what the qualities are of a good friend. What do you look for in somebody that is a good close friend? In our small group time as week 2, we ended our night by talking about 5 ways to develop godly friendships. And so that's what I want to leave you with today. How can you develop friendships that may develop into something more? I think that's really very important. Key in relationships is learning how to be a friend first. And so 5 ways to develop godly friendships. First, invest in others. This is really important. Philippians chapter 2, verse 4 says, each of you should be concerned not only about your own interests, but about the interests of others as well. You invest in other people by showing interest in them. You are concerned for them. You're concerned with them. You want to invest time in each other. And if you meet somebody that is not willing to make an investment, reality is they're not going to make a good friend. And if that person is someone that you think you're interested in, if they're not willing to make the investment, they're not going to make a good significant other, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or one day a spouse if they're not willing to invest. So if you want to build great godly friendships, learn to invest in others. The second thing is earn trust. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 6 says, many people profess their loyalty, but a faithful person who can find. You meet a lot of people in relationships that say, oh, I'm trustworthy, I'm someone that you can count on and all this, but when the push comes to shove, if you tell them something, you say, I want you to keep this between the two of us, and they go and blab it to everyone, they're not very trustworthy. And you don't want to be that person that will just say whatever to whoever. If you want to have great, godly friendships, and those friendships may develop into a relationship, you need to earn trust. So invest in others, earn trust. 3, listen to others. James chapter 1 verse 19 says this, understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. Let every person be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. We live in a time where listening is hard for a lot of people. A lot of people want to share their ideas and opinions, but they don't want to listen to what you have to say. Or they might just be listening with the purpose of having a response, which really isn't listening at all. And James' instruction that we should be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to anger really is going to help you develop great friendships. And it's going to be very beneficial in the future if you're pursuing a relationship. You want to learn how to listen to other people. So invest in others, earn trust, listen to others. 4, be present. Romans chapter 12, verse 15, Paul says, rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. And you're thinking, what in the world does rejoicing or weeping have to do with being present? It's all about engaging people with what they're going through, where they're at. If your friend comes in and they're really happy because they just did really well on a test, you want to be happy with them. Don't be the Debbie Downer that's going to be like, well, you could have done better. No, if you have a friend that comes in and they are just really bummed out because Something happened at lunchtime and they heard somebody talking about them. You don't want to just say, well, hey, get over it. Things are going to get better. Rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. In other words, engage people where they're at with what they're going through. That is a true friend, is someone that is going to be present through the ups and downs of life. So invest in others, earn trust, listen to others, be present. And the fifth thing, and I think this is really the most important, is that you are a friend if you encourage each other in the faith. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 24 says, "And let us take thought of how to spur one another on to love and good works." A true friend is one who will help build up the faith of other people. And so this is, we started Baewatch week 1, and we talked about, the ABCs of dating, and one of those was being a committed follower of Jesus. And so in our friendships, we need to help encourage each other to be followers of Jesus. That's really the most important thing. Jesus is the most essential person in our lives because he's our Savior. He is our Redeemer. He is our forgiver of sins, and he is our joy. And so we want to encourage each other to develop that relationship and grow strong in the faith. So here's the thing. Is the friend zone really a bad place to be? I don't think so. Here's the reason. Because some of the strongest relationships you'll see started in friendship. I know that's true for Mel and I. We were friends for many years before we even ever started dating. And once we started dating, that friendship had developed, and so we quickly realized that we wanted to spend the rest of our lives together. So our engagement and our dating time was very short. Our engagement was short, but we've been married a long time. And in the times where we find that we hit the rough patches of life, we go back to this fact that we've been friends for a lot longer than we've been married. And so I think the friend zone is a great place to be because some of the strongest relationships you'll see are going to grow out of that friendship. So I would encourage you to develop good, godly friendships by investing in other people, earning trust, listening to others, being present, and encouraging each other in the faith. So that's basically Baywatch week 2 right there in a nutshell. I hope that you can join us next week for week 3 of Baywatch. Have a great week. Bye.